Hola clase, we're going to start today our new topic, the verb estar and the present progressive. So we have already seen that ser and estar means to be. In this lesson, we're going to see the uses of the verb estar. As present tense, you can use the verb estar to state locations and to describe emotional and physical states. It expresses a change of state. And then, as the present progressive tense, you can use the verb estar to express actions in progress that are happening right now. We're going to see this more in depth in the following slides. So, we have already seen that in English you have the verb to be, but in Spanish you have ser and estar. So the verb to be in English is translated in Spanish by the verb ser and estar, but they have different uses, and we're going to see the uses of each verb. They have different uses and they are not interchangeable. We learned in chapter 2 that ser is used to identify essential or inner characteristics like ser bueno, ser buena, ser honesto, ser honesta, ser malo, ser mala, ser fiel, ser agresivo, ser agresiva, a profession, soy estudiante, soy profesora, soy deportista, a nationality or origin, soy guatemalteca, soy de Guatemala, eres estadounidense, eres de Estados Unidos. Time and dates, es octubre, es el año 2020. In chapter 3, we learned the conjugation in the present tense of the verb estar. It has an irregular yo form. Now we're going to learn its main uses. In the next chapter, we are going to see more specifically the different uses and the meaning they convey between ser and estar. So here you have estar conjugated in the present tense. As you remember, it has an irregular yo form, yo estoy, and then it works as any other AR ending verb. Tú estás, usted, él, ella está, nosotros, nosotras estamos, vosotros, vosotras estáis, ustedes, ellos y ellas están. So the first use of the verb estar is to state locations of people and things. So in order to do that, you use the verb estar conjugated in the present tense plus a preposition of location plus a location. So here I have a list of the preposition of locations. You can also see this table in your books. I'm not going to stop to go through all this chart, but you can stop the video and see all the prepositions of location or study them from your book. So, for example, estoy conjugated en la universidad. I am at the university. Estoy en la casa. I am at the house. Estamos en Estados Unidos. Estamos en Carolina del Norte. Estamos en Boone. El libro está encima de la mesa. The book is on top of the table. So as you can see, the verb estar is conjugated according to the subject. In this case, el libro is the subject. Then you have a preposition of location and then the location. So we're going to practice this locations with estar. Complete the following sentences with the verb estar conjugated according to the subject. Here you can check your answers. Then we're going to do another practice, locations with estar. Select the preposition of location that best matches the sentence. So you have mi cama está, and you have three different options. And you're going to select the preposition of location that is more logical according to the sentence, according to the meaning of the sentence. And here you can check your answers. The second use of the verb estar is to describe emotional and physical states. So what the verb estar conveys is a change of state. So to describe how people are feeling or the physical state of something, you use the verb estar because it expresses a change of state. It can be a physical state, it can be an emotional state. So we're going to see some examples. So emotional states like estar furioso, to be furious, estar triste, to be sad, estar contento, contenta, to be happy. And physical states like estar ocupado, to be busy, estar enfermo o enferma, to be sick, estar limpio o limpia, to be clean. It can be like a room that's clean or you just got out of the shower and you're clean. So it's a change of state. So you don't express it with the verb ser. You have to express this with the verb estar. So for example, estoy contento, estoy contenta, I am happy. Estamos ocupados, we are busy. Mi casa está limpia. My house is clean. So what you have to remember is that the verb estar expresses a change of state, and it's used to describe emotional and physical states. A side note about ser and estar. So ser can never be used with the adverbs bien or mal. If you remember, bien is translated to good, or mal is translated to bad. But you can never say soy bien, soy mal. You can never use the verb ser with bien or mal. Ser can only be used with the adjectives bueno, buena, buenos, buenas, and malo, mala, malos, malas to indicate that something or someone is good in essence. So if you're saying, I'm a good person, you're going to say, soy bueno, or soy buena persona. If you're a bad person, you can say, soy malo, or soy una mala persona. On the other hand, estar can be used with the adverbs bien or mal. When somebody asks you, ¿Cómo estás? How are you? You can say, estoy bien, I'm good, estoy mal, I'm bad. That's your state, an emotional state. So you are feeling good, you are feeling bad. So, estoy bien or estoy mal. Estar can also be used with the adjectives bueno, buena, buenos, buenas, and malo, mala, malos, malas to indicate a state of being. So I want you to see the difference in meaning. La comida es buena. So when you're using ser with bueno or malo, what you're saying is that the thing is good in essence. You are describing a noun that is good or bad in essence. So la comida es buena. What you're saying is it's good for your body. But when you are using estar, la comida está buena, what you're describing is a state of being. So the adjective is describing, buena in this case is describing la comida by saying how it is. So what you're implying is that the food is tasty. So as you can see, when you're using ser bueno, malo, you are talking about an essential quality of something. But when you are using estar with the adjectives bueno, malo, what you are describing is a state of being that changes. We're gonna do a practice. Practice number 3. Emotional and physical states. Complete the following sentences with the verb estar and the adjective in the parentheses. Remember that estar must be conjugated according to the subject, and the adjective must agree in gender and number with the noun it describes. Here you can check your answers. Práctica 4. Select the correct adjective according to the gender and number of the noun. And here you can check your answers. Okay, we're gonna see a new tense. So far we have seen the present tense, but right now we're gonna see the present progressive tense. The present progressive tense is a tense that is formed by 2 verbs. The verb estar and a present participle. So the present progressive tense is used to describe actions in progress. So actions that are happening right now. The present progressive tense is formed by the verb estar, conjugated in the present, plus a present participle. So how do you form a present participle? For regular verbs, the present participle is formed by adding ando to the stem of an AR verb, or iendo to the stem of an ER and IR verb. And we're gonna see this more in detail. So if you have an AR verb, like hablar, to form the present participle, you have to take away the AR ending and you stay with the verb stem. Then, because it is an AR verb, you have to add the present participle ending, which is ANDO. So to the verb stem, you add the ANDO and you have hablando. Ellos están hablando. They are talking. So estar is conjugated in the present according to the subject, and then you have the present participle. Okay, and then we have for ER and IR regular verbs. So we have comer and escribir. For the verb comer, you take away the ER ending and you stay with the verb stem. Because it's an ER verb, you have to add, to form the present participle, the IENDO here. So you have comiendo. El gato está comiendo. The cat is eating. What is the cat doing right now? The cat is eating. What are we doing right now? We are talking. That's the present progressive tense. It's used to describe actions that are happening right now. In English, it's far more used than in Spanish. In Spanish, the present progressive tense is only used when you are describing what's happening right now. Exactly right now. For an IR verb, like escribir, which is a regular IR verb, you take away the IR ending and you stay with the verb stem, script. And then, because it's an IR verb, you add the IENGO to form the present participle. So you have escribiendo. Estoy escribiendo. What am I doing right now? Estoy escribiendo. What am I doing right now? Estoy hablando. So just remember, you only use the present progressive tense in Spanish to describe something that's happening right now. Okay, so we also have irregular endings in the present participle. Here you have the rules for regular AR, ER, and IR verbs to form the present participle and the present progressive tense. But right now we're going to see irregular endings in the present participles. So if the stem of an ER and IR verb ends in a vowel, the ending of the present participle is not yendo, it turns into yendo. Instead of the I, here is the Y. So leer, if you take away the ER ending, you have le, and then you add yendo, which is the irregular present participle instead of yendo, and you have leyendo. Estoy leyendo poesía. I am reading poetry. Okay? Oír, to hear, you take away the IR ending of the verb in the infinitive and you have o. And then, because it ends in a vowel, you add yendo, oyendo. Mi compañero está oyendo música. My mate is hearing music. So you have to remember that this happens only to ER and IR verbs if the stem ends in a vowel after you take away the infinitive ending. Okay, we have another exception. Irregular stem in present participles. So we are going to see IR stem changing verbs. You remember the stem changing verbs that we have already seen in this week? The IR stem changing verbs have an irregular form in the present participle. IR verbs that have a stem change from E to IE in the present participle, they change from E to I. So, for example, the verb preferir, it has a stem change in the present from E to IE, but in the present participle, the E just changed to I. And then you add the present participle ending, prefiriendo. Then in IR verbs that have a stem change from E to I in the present, they keep the same change in the present participle. Servir, sirvo. So in the present participle, the stem change from E to I continues to happen. So sirviendo. Then we have IR verbs that have a stem change from O to UE in the present participle, they change from O to U. So for example, the verb dormir, in the present, it has a stem change from O to UE, and in the present participle, it has a stem change from O to U. Dormir, durmiendo. So we're going to do a practice now. Write the present progressive of the verb in the parentheses. Remember that the present progressive tense is formed by the verb estar and the present participle. So what you have to do here, mi gato blank comer. You have to turn this into the present progressive. And how do you do it? You first conjugate the verb estar according to the subject, in this case it's mi gato, and then the verb comer, you turn it into the present participle. Remember, all of these verbs are regular. And here you can check your answers. Okay, irregular present participles. We're gonna practice them. Write the present progressive of the verb in the parentheses. Again, remember that the present progressive tense is formed by the verb estar plus the present participle. So here, leer, yo blank leer el periódico, you have to turn this into the present progressive. How? First, you conjugate the verb estar according to the subject. In this case, the subject is yo. And then leer, you turn leer into its present participle form. all these verbs are irregular, so you might have to review the irregular present participles from our video. And here you can check your answers. Gracias. I know this was a lot, so if you have any questions, please email me. What you have to remember is that ser and estar are used in Spanish to express to be, but the uses are different and they're not interchangeable. We're going to see in the next chapter the different uses more specifically. For the present progressive tense, please remember that you only use it in Spanish to describe things that are happening right now.